last year in December, so literally 5 months ago, I went through one of the biggest ruts that I've ever been in. Now, last year, back in December, I was working in this Italian restaurant and I was working as a waiter. And let's say that I was working between 50, 55, sometimes even 60 hours a week. And because I was working as a waiter, I wasn't just sitting on a flipping desk working those hours. I was literally on my feet the whole time. Now, because I was working so many hours a week, I pretty much stopped training for a little bit. Now, I was training maybe like 2 times a week when I had my days off. But on the days that I was working, sometimes I would work out on my break. But most of the time, especially in that month, especially in December, I just couldn't be asked to train. Now, one thing that I want to add is that during that time, so during the December month and November as well, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I used to drink pretty much almost every single night after my shifts. Now, of course, I wasn't drinking by myself, but I would drink with some friends, with some colleagues at my workplace after my work was done. So we would go to the pub next to my restaurant, we would drink there. Sometimes we would even stay outside the restaurant, like drinking, chilling, which, you know, if you do that a couple of times, it's fine. You're literally with your colleagues after a long shift. You can do that, of course. But in my case, I was pretty much doing it almost every single night. Now, let's say that I was working 5 days a week. Let's say 4 out of those 5 days, I would literally stay behind and drink with my colleagues. Now, I remember this specific time. I remember this time because I finished work very late. I think it was like 11:30. Then, as I said, now I was drinking outside with my colleagues. And I remember that day after I woke up with a very, very big hangover. Now, the day after I would have a shift starting at 2 p.m. And I woke up at like, let's say 10, 11, I don't remember. I remember that day because that day I literally woke up and I just missed the gym so much. Like I wanted to go back to the gym and train. So I did. I remember I cycled to the gym. On my way to the gym, my head was hurting, I remember. I wasn't feeling great. And I remember that when I arrived at the gym and I walked over to the bench press, I just felt so fucking shit. Literally, I just felt like fucking shit. And long story short, I was at the gym for 15 minutes because I just didn't want to be there. I literally just didn't want to be there. I just felt so weak because, of course, I literally stayed up until like 2 in the morning drinking the day before. And then the day after, so the day that I went to the gym, I was literally hungover. My head was literally banging. And I remember I ended up doing like 2 sets on the bench press with a 60 kilo fucking weight, which usually I do a lot more than that. But I remember that time just to feel better, just to feel like I was productive. I went to the gym and I ended up leaving like in 15 minutes and then I went straight to work and the cycle continued. Now, in this video, I want to tell you how I got out of that massive rut that I had for like 2 months. And now I'm like possibly in the best shape in my life. My mental health is great. My gym progress is through the roof. Like I just feel like I have purpose, like I have a direction, unlike 5 months ago. So in this video, I want to tell you exactly how I did, exactly how I managed to escape those 2 months, because I literally felt like I was literally caged. Now, maybe some of you guys can relate. This is probably why you're watching this video, and this is probably why you've watched up to this point, because now I want to tell you exactly like the specific practical steps that you guys can apply in order to get out of your rut. And this is exactly what I did as well. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is that if you're living like this, your mental health is not right. There's something wrong with your mental health. Your mental health is not in check. So the first thing and I'm saying this not because I'm a psychiatrist, not because I'm a doctor or whatever, but because this is how I felt. I'm talking from my own personal experience. When you behave like that, your mental health, it's just not okay. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to do something about it. You just need to put a system in place which will make your mental health in check. So the first thing that I did is that I set up a habit tracker, a mental health habit tracker, where I pretty much gave myself 3 non-negotiable tasks for my mental health that I had to complete every single day. And why does my voice keep cracking? Now, the first habit for your mental health, at least for me, for you it could be different, but please try and copy me in this sort of like video. Try and copy me in this sort of scenario. So the first thing that I did for my mental health, so the first habit which you need to take off is reading. Now, the reason why I'm saying reading is because it's just such a nice thing to do. Like literally, there's no, I'm not going to prove any data. I'm not going to say some scientific stuff. Reading is just so nice. It just feels so good for you to do. So pick a book which you like and start reading. It could be about anything. Now, the book that I picked up back in late December when I completely ended this rat was The Anxious Generation. Now, the reason why I was reading that book is because at the same time I was very addicted to my phone and everything, and I just wanted a book which I could relate to and learn from. So guys, the first habit that you need to do in this mental health habit tracker is reading. Pick any book, even if it's a fantasy book, I don't care. Just pick a book that you like, that you can learn something from, and that you enjoy reading. So that's the first habit that I did, was reading. Now, the second very, very important habit that you need to do every single day is journaling. Now, how do you journal and what is journaling? Journaling is pretty much you write, it could be anything. You can literally write anything down on a piece of paper. It could be your thoughts, it could be your future plans, it could be your goals, it could be anything, and you just write it down. Literally, if there's something that you're overthinking about in your life right now, pick up a diary and a pen and you write it down. Now, I really, 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 really recommend doing this in a diary, not on a laptop, not on your phone. But please sit down on a desk with a piece of paper or a diary and a pen or a pencil, whatever, and you just write down your thoughts, you write down your goals, you write down how you feel, you write down something that you're thinking about. You can write down about an event that happened to you. And in this way, you're just like, it kind of keeps you on track of where you're going, if that makes sense. Like if you journal every single day about your future plans, your future goals, about something that you overthink, it just kind of, at least for me, it just gave me like a direction. Okay, I know why I'm doing this, I know why I'm doing that, I know that I'm feeling like this because of this. And it's just such a great way to feel better, you know what I mean? And also you feel also like productive as well. You know, you just sit down on your desk with a piece of paper and you write down things. It just makes you feel good. So just to recap, reading, journaling were the first two habits that I really, really, really recommend for your mental health. Now, we're not done, because the third habit that you need to do is walking in nature without music and without your phone. This is a game changer, guys. This is such a game changer. I still do this, of course, to this day. And yeah, please do this. Leave your phone at home, leave your headphones at home, whatever, and just go out and go for a walk. Literally, it doesn't have to be for like an hour. It doesn't have to be for half an hour. Even if you go on a 15-minute walk, just please do this every single day. Now, that's a great way to get your steps in, but it's also a great way just to think, just to let your mind wander. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like the perfect routine is going on a walk for like, I don't know, half an hour, and then coming back and journaling about it. Like, this is why, like, we need to take care of our mental health, and this is just the best way that I did. I didn't have to go and speak to some to a therapist or whatever. Maybe some of you do. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to recommend this stuff, but what I want to recommend is the things that worked for me. So go out in nature. Go, if you live in a city, I live in London, just go out and literally go for a walk. And then when you come back, just journal about your walk, just journal about your thoughts. And in this way, it's just so good for your mental health. And walking is literally therapeutic. Like, I don't care. Walking is the best thing that you can do for your mental health. So these were the 3 non-negotiable tasks that you need to do for your mental health. These are reading every single day, journaling every single day, and walking in nature, or walking, you know, just down the road without your phone. So this is what you need to do every single day for your mental health: reading, journaling, walking. Okay, now that we covered the mental health side, now I want to cover a goal setting system. What you're going to do to get out of a rut, and this is what I did as well, I set myself a short-term goal that I had to reach in 90 days. Now, the reason why it's a short-term goal and not in 90 days and not maybe like a long-term goal for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, is because every day matters. Every day counts. So if you set yourself a goal for 90 days, well, to be fair, it could be like 60 to 90 days. Like the longest you can go is 90 days. 60 might be even better. Now, the reason why it's a short-term goal is because every day counts and you cannot waste any days, basically. And you're pretty much waking up with a purpose every single day. Because let's say that you set yourself a goal for in a year. You can literally wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, the goal is in a year. I can skip today. If your goal is in 60 days, you wake up differently. You wake up with some sort of like hunger, you know what I mean? With some sort of like extra motivation that you need if you actually want to reach a goal and most importantly, get out of your rut. So set yourself a goal for like 60 to 90 days. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself weekly tasks. So 3 non-negotiable weekly tasks that you need to complete, which will help you to achieve your short-term goal. Now, in my case, at the time, I wanted to bench 100 kilos. That was my goal. So what I did, I pretty much just set myself weekly goals that I had to do every single week if I wanted to achieve that goal in 60 days. And these were eating in a caloric surplus every single day, was benching 3 times a week, and strength training 5 days a week. Now, for example, in my case, right now, my goal is to hit 50 subscribers on YouTube. So please help me and subscribe to this channel. So my goals are to upload 2 times a day, to record every single day so that I can like pre-plan my videos, and to script my videos. These are my weekly non-negotiable tasks. So let's say that you have the goal to run a half marathon in a sub 2 hour half marathon, where your goals are going to be to run every single week. But you got to be specific. Don't just say, oh yeah, I'm going to run every single week. Just how many times you're going to run, what kind of runs you're going to do. And let's say that your goal is to also eat well. Don't just say eat well on your non-negotiable weekly task. Just say exactly what you need to eat. For example, every day I need to eat 150 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs. You know what I'm trying to say? Is like, just be very specific with your weekly tasks, which are going to help you achieve your short-term goal. In this way, if you apply these 2 systems, so the first one is your mental health is in check. So you're doing those 3 things every single day, no matter what, for your mental health. And at the same time, you have a short-term goal, which you need to achieve between 60 and 90 days. Just please set yourself a precise date so that you don't skip any days. And you give yourself weekly tasks, which are going to help you achieve that goal. I'm telling you guys, this is how I got out of my terrible, terrible rut. Now I'm literally in the best state I've ever been in, mentally, physically, in terms of my relationships with other people as well. And this is exactly what I did. This is what I did. It's very important that you don't neglect your mental health, guys, that you actually keep it in check, that you actually do things every single day, which are going to help you improve it. And on the other hand, it's also important that you actually have a goal and a purpose. This is the whole point, guys, to have a purpose, to actually go out there and achieve it. And not even achieve it, but mainly work for it. Then you will achieve it. But make sure that you enjoy the process. You don't obsess over this goal every single day, but you actually just enjoy the process. You enjoy these weekly tasks that you're doing. You tick them off on your habit tracker. And eventually you will achieve whatever goal that you have. And I'm telling you guys, the best thing that you can do, this is the best thing that you can do. If you're going through a rut, if you're going through a bad time now, the best thing that you can do is actually take a step back, analyze the situation, see what's going on, why you're feeling this way, and then start working on your mental health, and then start working on whatever goal it is that you set yourself. Now, in my example, these were fitness goals. But let's say that you go to university and your goal is to, get an A star in one of your exams. Then what are those weekly tasks that you need to do in order to achieve that goal? They could be, studying, like 20 hours a week, or like 30 hours a week, however long you guys studies. I didn't go to university, so I don't know how much you guys study. But they can also be, reading 3 articles a week. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please follow this advice. I know this was a different videos to the videos I normally post. Usually I post videos about calisthenics, about the gym. But today I just really wanted to post this video because I literally had a thought last night about what happened to me back in December and November. And I really feel for the guys that are going through the same period of time that I went through. So this is a video for you guys. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.